Hello everyone, welcome back to OCB's 17 World Cup 2023, and we're back for this new weekend for the semifinals round for this tournament. We're probably reaching into the back half of this tournament, and it's been quite a pretty uneventful journey so far into the tournament. We're looking for some spicy matches coming up here. I'm Mifa and I'll be commentating alongside Potassium. How's it going?
I'm doing really well. Semi-finals this week, of course. This is where the map pools and the matches kind of ramp up quite a lot. We are starting to get to the later stages of the tournament, so these map pools are definitely ramping up quite fast. And to match it as well, the teams are very scary. Every single team here, even in the losers bracket, are extremely strong. And we're going to actually see one of those losers bracket matches up right now. China versus Indonesia. This is seed 4 versus, I believe Indonesia was around seed 7, if I remember correctly. So these are two very high-seeded teams, very strong overall teams, but this is a losers bracket match. Both of them have lost matches so far. So the loser of this is at risk of being eliminated from the tournament right now.
Absolutely. The odds are against for both of these teams, especially the fact that Indonesia did gain access to the losers bracket after losing to a tiebreaker against Japan in round of 16, and China lost against the United States on the tiebreaker in quarterfinals. So how how interesting can this get? They just both their tiebreakers and they just met with each other in the semifinals losers bracket.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, that is actually very true. Both of these teams lost two ridiculously close matchups against the USA and Japan, respectively. And now they are fighting themselves to try and stay in the tournament here. We're looking straight here into the picks and bans right away. My kind of predictions of how this is going to go, I believe China is probably stronger with the LNs in general. They have shown a pretty big strength as far as the LN pool is concerned. So I imagine Indonesia are probably going to look towards more of the rice picks and maybe banning one of those LN maps.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like given that you say that China actually very more prioritized towards LN picks in general, and I mean especially given how the difficulty ramps up from quarterfinals to semifinals is a no joke. And at some points, even D1 double S's are not going to be a concern. It's going to be a concern of full comboing throughout the entire pool, and we're going to be seeing Indonesia banning the catching speed. I guess the ludicrous speed it was.
Yeah, interesting ban here for Indonesia. So that means that all the LN picks are likely going to be staying up. I can't imagine China banning. Okay, no, they are. And I'm just going to be proven wrong. Okay, China are going to ban the release pick. Interestingly enough, because China actually had the #1 score on last week's release map, as well as the #1 score on the coordination LN from the qualifiers. So I would imagine China are more comfortable with these LN maps than Indonesia are, but it looks like they're kind of wanting to shy away from it, maybe not as comfortable as it might seem from the outside.
Yeah, from the banning point standpoint, I feel like Indonesia is understandable banning speed, like 350, yeah, with some sporadic bursts here and there. And
Yo, tiebreaker being picked.
I don't
Let's
think
go.
they're going to pick tiebreaker. Alright, so we'll see how this, actually, it's not a tiebreaker for sure, but they're going to be picking chronostasis.
Hang on a second. This is this pick and ban is getting out of hand. We were talking a bit before. This was one of the picks that we didn't expect to see from either team for a very long time. But China is, interestingly enough, going right for it. This is going to be the more mixed rice pick. This has a lot of choke potential for a first pick from China.
And I mean, considering the fact that we've been discussing about this, like chronostasis being like the more, I guess, the mixed attack pick, these patterns are not, I mean, actable by any means unless if you have the 14 finesse to actually just to manipulate some patterns here and there, you can actually just make sure you're comboing everything. And this one has only 8.5 for a mixed rice pick like this. So this has more risk involved in this.
Interesting pick for sure, but I I assume China is kind of picking based on their own ability. They have players that definitely have a very, very strong combo game. You know, Turks and Qingqi Ding, also known as QX, coming in here. All of the Chinese players really excel at holding combos, managing to get full combos. And on a map like this, where misses are so easy, having that ability can go a really long way. On Indonesia's side, of course, onto Bekasi we're going to expect to see for basically every single map. For Indonesia, it's mostly up to their second player, which has been usually either Raze or Yanamon, and it looks like we're getting Yanamon in for this one.
Yeah, it seems like a smart move by Indonesia, especially given that Yanamon is more like the physical player in the Indonesian side, and having Yanamon for basically every single pick would be could go a long way with the clarity, especially with how dense and how difficult time this pick is in general.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top for this one, because I don't think it's so clear-cut, even though China picked this one first. I think on a map like this, onto Bekasi could definitely keep up with the Chinese players. But it comes down to kind of how, you know, whether the players choke or not at the end of the day on a map like this, or whether they can keep up.
And you see with China having Turks here is something a little bit of a relief, considering last year Turks has been the god of comboing things, and I guess having Turks in here is something like a buffer for China in general. Although they have 200% in Indonesia, but it doesn't seem to stay long.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to start picking up early, and actually, little bit of an early lead. No, it goes back and forth between both players as big combo drops from Indonesia right now. Onto Bekasi briefly going below 99%. It's going to give a bit of a lead over to China early on in this map.
Yeah, we haven't got to the sickest part of the chart there, but it's starting to change once we get to there yet. But it's just more like a more act buffer that leads to more lead.
Yeah, and the ACK is slowly being built up now. Yanamon has caught up with the Chinese players. It's just onto Bekasi, still lagging behind by a little bit. But of course, 4 full combos on the board means that Indonesia is still definitely in this for now.
Here we go,
Yanamon, the delay patterns find Yanamon breaking multiple times, and this accuracy drop down to below 99% as well. Another break here. China are still holding 2 full combos.
So 2 full combos to, I mean, onto Bekasi has a 99 flat, but it comes to the pattern that it goes even worse from here. And Turks and Yanamon trading though.
Yeah, Turks does find a drop that'll help even it out a little bit, but it was traded, and Yanamon's struggling to hold the combo together right now. So the lead is going to still widen. Qingqi Ding now getting a miss as well.
The only full combo left being onto Bekasi. I mean, surprisingly enough, given that onto Bekasi didn't help that much of an accuracy lead, Turks and Yanamon going to be finding a trade there, but I feel like the lead is like cut down to like 30,000 from China.
I think onto Bekasi now has the best score in the lobby, actually, but the misses from Yanamon really preventing any lead from being brought back to Indonesia's side. And I think it's just too little of the map left. I think China's going to manage to take this one, and double miss from Indonesia. That secures
really
it.
Disgusting condition, and that's understandable for having a lead drop like that. And looks like that was a 50,000 point lead to China. Turks will be taking the MVP with a 17,200s.
Yeah, really strong accuracy from Turks. The only one actually maintaining above 99% out of the 4 players, and a lot of misses coming in. This was really the miss game. The combo game, like we say earlier, in favor of China here with less misses overall.
Yeah, it does look like, looking at these ratios by both teams, they are identical. It's just the 200 count and the miss count for Yanamon is extremely high. They have 2 misses each, which is interestingly enough that even Yanamon can cut down the misses by a lot. I think it will become a lot closer to that.
Yeah, I feel like if Yanamon was a little bit more comfortable with the miss count, Indonesia could have definitely contested that one. That would have actually been really close, but at the end of the day, it is China winning their first point, so in hindsight, I mean, yeah, it was a pretty good pick from China. We'll see how Indonesia decides to fight back here. Kind of difficult decision.
There's a discussion about picking LMs for Indonesia, and probably gonna be either Replica or is the VTuber one.
No, there's no
They're
way
going
you pick
Replica.
my... Yeah, no way you pick Maya Sodas against China. It is going to be
This
Replica,
is-
the density pick.
Density pick, I feel like this could be alright as a pick. I'm not sure if bringing Yanamon is the best case either, because Yanamon has been choking so much after that chronostasis.
Of course, Chronostasis having a lot of choke points throughout the map, kind of understandable. This is a very different map overall, so maybe if they do feel more comfortable comboing through this one, could turn out quite well for Indonesia, we'll have to see. But this one is it's a really short map as well, 2 minutes long.
I think this is kind of the game where China has to pick their two players very carefully, as this is... It's either with QX or Zhang, or Van Wilder.
Oh.
I mean, Van Wilder is my other name, Zhang Fan.
Yeah, I think most people would know Van Wilder as Zhang Fan. Very old player coming in for China. And what I remember about this player in particular is they are very good at full comboing. But
at the
accuracy...
At the expense of accuracy, that's for sure.
Accuracy maybe not the best for Van Wilder, but the combo game is definitely there. So it'll be up to Indonesia to try and hold onto the combos as long as they can. I think they might be able to win in terms of the accuracy. It looks like we're actually getting a double swap from China here. Satori coming in as well. So all 4 Chinese players are going to have an appearance in the first 2 maps of this match.
Yeah, double swap is... I mean, at the cost of having such a really good combo gamer, I think at some point Satori is going to offset that with more accuracy. Given that, that would be a pretty good move considering Turks is also passing the same weight as Zhang Fan in this case. Right, we'll see the start right here should be getting to the map soon. And here we go. This is where seeing Ota with the mirror this time.
And Indonesia's first pick. This is a really important pick if they want to stay competitive in this match. You can't let a team like China get an early advantage. And
so
very
the lead
early.
Zhang Fan. Oh, Yanamon actually picked the break. Oh, so does Ota. Oh wow.
What is going on to Bekasi? Something's going on there. Potentially a disconnect at the start of the map. Something's happened. I think the abort command was put forward.
Right. Oh,
I think there was some kind of
has some issues there for Ota.
Yeah, some kind of keyboard disconnect happening on Onta Bekasi's side at the very start of the map.
That's a very good call for help there for Indonesia. At the very least, it's happening before the 30-second point. So
yeah, I mean that happened in the first like 5 seconds of the map. So if it happened any later, I think that would have been, I mean, basically Indonesia losing the point guaranteed. So I guess luckily that was the very start of the map. Any other point of the map would have been very bad for Team Indonesia.
I mean, just by looking at the 5 seconds of the map, I saw Zhang Fan at like a 98.5 at the very 500 notes. That's a little bit concerning to me, but hopefully this time around they can pick it back up.
Yeah, we did see a very early accuracy lead there for Indonesia for sure. So it really does come down to the combos. If Indonesia can hold similar combos to China, it can definitely be a good pick for them. But it looks like we're just waiting to get back into the map for now. Readying up again. Hopefully no more keyboard issues.
Because we're trying to sort this up a little bit. As that would have been like pretty catastrophic for Indonesia to lose a point just like that if it wasn't for the call for help. But it seems like just to
hang on a second.
Properly.
We've got China just leaving the lobby. Wait, huh? Switching players? Are we seeing a
what is-
player switch after an abort? I'm pretty sure the same players need to be playing in that played before.
Yeah, so it wasn't ruled after all, so we need to play. If they got disconnected at some point, they need to have the same players in the lobby on this particular pick.
Yeah, so it should be Van Wilder and Satori coming back in.
Yep,
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully this does prove as a little bit of a lesson to make sure that if you got disconnected at some point, then you might be sure that you have the same players in the lobby to make things fair.
Well, I mean, it's kind of don't really see much reason to switch players after an abort like that, because I mean they did lock in their players just before, so this was the lineup that they chose.
I mean, I sort of have a hunch with some players swapping out for China, but I guess that's understandable considering the intro has been a little bit shaky. But hopefully, this does not happen in this second game. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see it. So back into the map. Hopefully, nothing goes wrong this time. All 4 players with no issues.
Hopefully no more keyboard issues after this time, because that would have been pretty sad after all those fixes.
We are seeing once again a little bit of an accuracy lead for Indonesia off of the back of Van Wilder dropping down below 99%. All other players on 99.6 right now, holding really strong, so it's a little bit of an Indonesia-sided lead.
Looking all of the screens so far, all packed up nodes. Yeah, I'm just really scared on who to miss first, really. And they're also at 99.6 after that. So the lowest being 99.5 here, that just goes to show these players know how to combo.
Yeah, Van Wilder's actually, the accuracy has gone all the way back up to 99.5. This is really close now, and onto Bakasi finding the first miss. That's going to give the lead over to China. All 4 players having basically the same accuracy right now, 99.5.
Barely, that's a barely lead.
This is a tiny lead for China. Van Wilder finding a miss. It's going to put it straight back into Indonesia's side with a little bit of an accuracy advantage. Onto Bakasi despite the miss.
Pulling ahead, even with a miss.
Yeah, 99.3, the best accuracy in the lobby.
They're not out of the woods yet. It's still only by a mere 4,000 point lead. And even though Van Wilder being the only miss with the lowest accuracy, it could have been like cost them that lead so much further.
This is really close. This is still a 1 miss difference between the teams, and Yanamon finding a miss. That's going to give it over to China, I think.
Onto Bakasi. Oh no!
The double miss from Indonesia. Both of Team China is holding strong with the combos so far.
I think there's still enough time. Satori! It's gonna be
this might be enough for Yanamon. Finds a trade back. This is going back and forth. All these players need to hold on to their combos as much as they can if they want to retain a lead. Onto Bakasi, he's going to find the miss though. And we're at the end of the map.
That's only about 7,000. Satori!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a 5,000 point lead.
Almost cost at the very end, but 5,000 points the difference at the end, and Satori being the MVP. These scores are so close. The difference between the lowest score and the highest score in the lobby is less than 4,000 points.
And Yanamon and Onto Bakasi are just 500 points apart. And given that, there's only 2 slider breaks from Yanamon.
Oh, so close, but that is going to be the first breakpoint that we see in the match.
Yeah, this puts in a really good position for China, considering even a little bit of a concerning intro at the first take of this song. Van Wilder did bring it back up after that.
But at the very least for Indonesia, we do see the potential there. On both of these first maps, we can see Indonesia do have the potential to keep up with China in terms of the accuracy at the very least. It's all up to this combo game, and this combo is going back and forth. Rise 6.
They're going for full tech. They're going full technical picks now.
I don't understand China's picks, but if they work, they work. I mean, go for it, right? This is going to be the technical pick, Uncharted Sky. This is actually the original song made for this tournament, for the 7-Key World Cup this year.
I think at this point I'm seeing a pattern from China right now. They're just going for the higher risk just to make sure they can combo a lot longer than Indonesia would.
Yeah, they're going for the uncomfortable maps, the maps in the Rise pool that, you know, maybe they feel like they have the advantage holding the combo on for longer, but they feel maybe Indonesia might choke on this one a little bit more than they will themselves. So in that sense, it could work out quite well for them like the first Rise map did.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this surely is not the uncharted territory for China right now, as they are entering for a technical pick that is really what sets the best for China right now.
Yeah, we do see the double. That's an early miss from QX. Ultimately doesn't mean a whole lot, since it's one of the first notes. It does result in a bit of an accuracy lead for Indonesia early on, but should be fairly quick to recover from that from Team China.
Yanamon did find some 200s from that mini court decks there, but the lead's not changing that much really. It's just a matter of having an offset miss with the 200. It seems to take a lot of the damage for Indonesia right now, and China has the lead now.
Yeah, QX has definitely recovered from that early drop, now at 99.5. So beating Yanamon on the side of Indonesia. And the combo deficit really is negligible when you miss on one of the first notes like that.
It's still no lead, so this is a little disappointing. Considering all full combos from Indonesia, so hopefully it doesn't take too much of an effort to regain the lead. I mean,
well, that's going to be the first. Yeah, the first big combo break here from Onto Bakassi. That's going to give China a little bit more of a lead, and they're going to start pulling ahead. Just halfway through so far, and the accuracies are fairly close, but Onto Bakassi finding another miss.
Oh, that's a break there from Yanamon UX. There's only 4 combos being tricks here. Although that is to say, the lead is obviously jumping up to 20k now.
Yeah, these misses from Indonesia definitely causing the lead to go more and more in China's favor. Turks still with the full combo, as you said before, and the accuracy advantage as well. We can see QX and Onto Bakassi both have very similar accuracies, but Turks beating Yanamon and Yanamon finding another break. It's looking like China's running away with this. We're getting towards the end of the map already.
Yeah, Yanamon's looking pretty much out of steam here. Like, really quick, the lead is already jumping to 30k. There's a trade from the upper screen right there, but I feel like there's not much to be said to gain from here. There's a lot of mistakes that they would, but Turks doesn't seem to take any mistakes whatsoever.
That's the combo king right here. Turks with the full combo.
That's the combo gamer right there. Only 150 from a clean full combo, but it's still really clean full combo regardless.
Yeah, and that's the kind of level of difficulty that we have here. The overall, you know, looking at the accuracies, they're all fairly similar with each other. It's just the combo. And at this stage in the game, when we have maps that are this hard, one single full combo is enough for a comfortable win here for China on this map. 3-0 now. Indonesia definitely on the back foot in the match, but they have an opportunity. Oh, okay. A bit of a different approach this time. Indonesia is going to avoid the LNs for now, and we're going towards one of the Rise picks, but this is significantly more comfortable to be able to combo. Should be more comfortable for these players to be able to play as well.
I just not sure what to think of this pick. I mean, in general, considering how many chokes that you can have from such a VMS dense core stream like this, as this is basically what quarterfinals does, except this just has a lot more chokeable, mind-blockable patterns in that sense. And seeing Race going for instead of Yanamon here, I'm not too sure about what Race would do here, but I feel like that would be a good change considering Yanamon has been missing so much more than what players would do.
Yeah, Raze has had a fairly good performance so far in the maps that he's played throughout this tournament. So if he is comfortable on this map in particular, it could turn out well for Indonesia. We are seeing Satori swapping in for China. Definitely one of those high accuracy players on the Chinese team, so that makes a lot of sense for a map like this, where we are going to see the players try to aim for that accuracy if they're comfortable in the first place. That is easier said than done. 182 BPM.
Except for the fact that this is also fairly high risk to make sure you don't lose a big chunk of your business, given that if you try to make sure that you have high accuracy the entire way through.
That's true.
This is also what combo game does.
Yeah, hyper focusing on that accuracy on like the ratio department definitely does result in a lot of misses if you tunnel vision a little bit too much on that. So you can't really afford to, we're reaching the point where you really do have to start focusing a little bit more on combo in general.
That kind of has been a trend for, I guess, in 7 key, because you normally would make sure you get a lot of high accuracies than what 4 key would, but 7 key, it's a bit of a different story as the difficulty exponentially gets higher and higher. So we'll see what happens with picking, with China picking, Indonesia picking stages really, but we'll see what happens. Had a bit of a rocky start for a race, but ultimately it doesn't matter because the intro is pretty trivial.
Yeah, managing to recover pretty quickly, so overall the accuracy lead is going back and forth a little bit. Actually 3 players above 99.8 right now. Raze is a little bit behind 99.5.
Yeah, Raze has been hitting really early, so that might have cost him like a barrage of normal 300 instead of rainbow. Just to make sure that, I think hitting early in this case might have helped, but Raze already finding a drop right there, but having hitting early makes up for the combo that you get, but look at these accuracies on China, 9.8. For both of them.
This is a scary Chinese team score right now. Halfway through the map, both players on 99.8% FCs. Onto Bakasi still with the FC as well, 99.7 just about. But the one miss from Raze means that if Indonesia want to come back in this map, they have to hope for at least 1 or 2 misses from China.
There's a couple bit of rolls after this segment right here, which should be tripping up or most of the players in the lobby, but I would highly doubt that China's gonna miss right here.
Mipha trying his best to curse China. Doesn't look like it's happening though. We're getting...
it's combo gaming, right? China's gonna miss right here.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the map already. It feels like even if China misses here, it's not gonna be enough. They have the accuracy lead still. They have the double full combo. And it just looks like they're too comfortable with this map.
Onto Bakasi trying to keep up with both of the Chinese players, but at this point, I just feel at a loss for words right now. Look at China go!
This is both players 990k pretty easily here, it looks like, from the Chinese side. 992, 993. This is like a round of 16 team score right here, but we're getting it in the semi-finals from China. Onto Bakasi also with a really strong full combo, 989k. And I don't know whether it's unfortunately or fortunately, but that miss from Raze didn't really end up costing them anything, because this would have been a China win regardless.
That is some consistency that China bring. Not only they bring up the combo game, but they actually managed to make it through with both of them basically, essentially, this about identical ratio.
And that is 2 breakpoints now, 4-0. And I wonder if China just keep going with these Rice picks. They're looking very comfortable on them so far.
And with China at this point, will probably just gonna pick whatever they want, or they can just pick the highest risk one out of there. Maybe.
Yeah, they're not picking plastic girls. They're not picking plastic girls. But anything else, I think, at this point, is fairly justified for China.
Or is it the other Kaching course?
Yeah, we do have one more chord stream map if they're feeling comfortable on that chord stream, like they, just showed. Or they could go towards the LN pool. I know.
There you go.
They did pick chord jack. Okay, they're going wild with these picks. China are really picking whatever they want to right now.
I mean, at the cost of really making sure you're comboing all the way through, I think this strategy. I approve with the strategy. It's just going to combo all the way through.
I mean, that is true. This at this point, the chord jack pick is not necessarily just a ratio battle anymore. This is going to be a combo battle to some extent. 130 BPM is very high.
We're not seeing Turks this time. We're seeing QX instead of Turks.
Yeah, interesting actually. We are seeing Satori and QX Ching Chi Ding onto Picasso, and it looks like Raze is going to be staying in for this one.
Not sure if Raze want to say that right now in the lobby, but Or is it going to be Yanamon? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it looks like it is going to be Yanamon.
At this point, when chord jack's like starting at 120 BPM in quarterfinals, in semifinals it just gets like 10 times harder when it's actually at 10 BPM instantly.
Yeah, this BPM is definitely one where we will start seeing a lot of players become really uncomfortable with comboing, so I expect to see maybe a couple of these players start focusing more on combo than they are on ratio.
I'm not sure why the chat says there's an MP abort after the MP start, but we'll see. Hopefully there's no more issues. Alright, there you go.
I think Yanamon just left the lobby briefly there while the MP start was going, so... But no, we're all in here now.
They do a little bit of trolling, but regardless, we're going to be seeing how well and how effective this pick can be to make sure how many misses in this corner they're going to go for.
Okay, let's see how well these players can combo this. Early leads don't really matter right now, but it looks like they're basically tied either way.
I mean, essentially, it doesn't really matter until you get to the middle section.
Yeah, everyone looking fairly comfortable at the start here. But yeah, as you said, when it gets into the real section, the real difficulty section, that's when we're going to start seeing potential drops, accuracy drops, all those things coming in. And here we go, starting with the jacks.
A bit of an accuracy drop by Yanamon, but I mean, it does offset with QX.
Well, accuracy drops from the Chinese players now as well. It's actually giving the lead a little bit over to Indonesia, but Yanamon drops out accuracy. Oh, onto Picasso dropping in combo.
There's a 50. Oh, there's a flurry of 50s by Onta there.
Yeah, accuracy lead now in China's favor as well. Onto Picasso was the highest accuracy in the lobby. But now, 2 full combos for China. And Onta misses again.
This is looking really good for China, as it seems as they're pretty much holding what they expected them to do. Basically the same accuracy overall.
Yeah, they're holding these 99.7s. This is on pace for 2 players getting 990k yet again for China. Holding stronger accuracies. Yanamon now misses. That's both full combos gone for Indonesia. China still has both of them on the table.
Basically unscathed. As we are approaching to the ending, I don't think there's much to say. The lead is already cut up at 30,000 points.
Yeah, that even if they both miss right now, I don't think there's enough time at all for this. Satori does find a miss. It's not going to
That
be the double full combo, unfortunately, but it will be the point 1 for China fairly comfortably.
yeah. Actually, this time around, we're seeing core jack ratios. I mean, by core jack ratios, I mean there's more 50s than misses.
I mean, ratios are fairly similar, actually, between the two teams.
Credits
200
to Ki-
counts a
credits to
little bit in
QK for
favor.
beating Satori. Credits to QK for beating Satori actually by 500 points, given it that misses.
That is true, despite the advantage in ratio and 200 count from Satori. But it is going to put Indonesia now in, well, it's going to require them to have a reverse sweep right now. 5-0. Indonesia need to win 5 points in a row if they want to force this tiebreaker. And they haven't managed to find a place so far that they have managed to find an advantage. They almost did win on the LN pick, so maybe that's a map like a kind of territory they want to go back to.
I'm just saying if he wants to play Gazelle. I don't think so. I don't think anyone wants to play Gazelle right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
End it with the 5-minute long map.
Essentially a tiebreaker if you want to count that, but oh, I think it might be. Or is it gonna be Kitchen Courtster? Given asking what race did on Sitges.
Yeah, a bit of a discussion happening.
They're gonna get Gazelle.
Yeah, that's the pick. They're going with Gazelle. It is going to be the longest pick in the pool. The first hybrid that we're seeing in this match. We have not seen any of the teams play a hybrid just yet in this match.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is 5.5 minutes long, so we're in for a long one here, and that means that accuracy is paramount.
By paramount, I mean how well can you transition the disgusting patterns in this, or else you're gonna have the worst time into even accuracy this.
Yeah, individual misses are perhaps not going to matter just as much as they do on the other maps, which might play a little bit into Indonesia's favor, just a slight bit, if they can keep up with the accuracy of China. But definitely very hard to try and play this well.
Yanamon's saying if this has the lacrima trills, but I mean it doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, we are going to see Turks back in the lobby for this one.
Yeah,
Turks and Satori looking like the duo here.
Looking like a duo for basically the combo gamer of all time. I mean, that would be interesting to see because the mix between Satori and Turks they're fairly the polar opposite. Well, Turks you can just basically making sure that he combos everything, but Satori will probably have the better ratio by all accounts.
Yeah, Satori I do kind of imagine as generally the AC player of China, so definitely expected to do well in the accuracy side of things, but Turks, I mean, if Turks pulls off some ridiculous combo here, could very well just top the lobby.
I mean, if you basically pull combo, then you win. That's kind of it.
Yeah. But we'll see how Indonesia does on this one as well. It is their pick, of course. And Onten, Bakasi, and Yanamon have definitely shown themselves to be capable of putting up extremely high scores. They just need to try and avoid those misses that they've been getting at unfortunate times. And actually...
Yep. Not a combo gamer anymore, but I mean, that's a slider break over there.
Turks will have to... Ooh, that trill. That's rough. That is a rough trill from Turks.
That's a very mistimed that trill. That is pretty catastrophic for Turks, but nevertheless, it should be fine.
So, I mean, yeah, a very early advantage for Indonesia. Just off of that intro there, a miss and a few 50s and 200s there.
I mean, this has some wacky time signatures that you might have to pay attention because the BPM is not that constant, I feel. Well, these slams
Everyone.
into the core streams. Oh, there we go. There's an auto missing on that.
And that might still be fine for Indonesia. They do have a bit of an accuracy lead, but I think it's basically just going to be tied up right now. The accuracy lead is perfectly offsetting this one miss advantage that China has right now. Yeah, they are going to keep the lead.
They're going to play the long game because the lead... Oh, there we go. Yeah, finding a drop right there. There's no more combos in Indonesia already.
Yeah, and now Turks is catching up in accuracy as well. So Turks and Yanamon tying in accuracy, Satori and Ontabakasi tying in accuracy. So those two misses from Indonesia making up this entire difference so far.
Oh wow, Yanamon finding multiple breaks over there. This is gonna be...
Oh no.
That
miss hurts to see from Ontabakasi in the kind of break section there. And it is going to be China making a even bigger lead for themselves right now. They do have almost two full combos. Turks with a very, very early miss.
I mean, they're basically playing the long game to see who actually missed first. I mean, Turks already missed first, but that doesn't really count as a miss. That's a slider break issue. Well, this section right here is actually disgusting. With the offset core streams.
But everyone managing to combo through it. Not even really any major accuracy drops to speak of here. Everyone holding roughly the same accuracy that they started with. Turks is very slowly improving his accuracy over time. Catching up with Ontabakasi now.
The trill! The trill!
Oh.
The two players in Indonesia falling victim to that.
Yeah, both Indonesian players, and that's a rough trill from Yanamon as well there.
Oh,
really struggling on this one.
They mistimed that trill so badly over there.
Turks as well. Turks getting a lot of 200s and Yanamon as well. And that one is rough for Yanamon as well. 98% flat. It's going to end up dropping the accuracy so much, and now China are starting to run away with this lead. Double miss for Ontabakasi. We still have virtually two full combos from China.
Basically almost the same score between each other, and they didn't even fall victim. Although Turks has 200s on that trill, but that doesn't even count towards the combo.
Oh, that was such a massive accuracy drop from Yanamon. 98.2. Turks finding another drop. That's going to help out the score difference a little bit, but I mean, a single drop, that's not going to do anywhere near enough. So we're seeing right now, this is about 40,000 points, the lead for China. And on a map this long, 40,000 points is a lot.
40,000 points accosted by the fact that Yanamon dropped like a whole % of that trill alone. Which is massive.
Oh, I feel so bad thinking about that trill because I know what it feels like. That trills like that, once you start mistiming them, there's just no coming back.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't much else to say because the song itself kind of comes to a 1 minute full closure here, and it doesn't seem they're gonna be picking back up anytime soon unless a major mistake happens. Because I don't think Satori will gonna drop any moment here.
Yeah, I mean, Yanamon is building up the accuracy back to 99.8, but there's just not enough time in the map to really build it up to compete with China's accuracies right now. 99.3, 99.4 for Turks and Satori. Ontabakasi is matching Satori's accuracy, despite the misses, but that's not quite going to be enough. There needs to be someone to match Turks as well.
It comes to a bit of an editing to make sure that you make sure to lose your full combo, but I don't think... actually, Ontabakasi is falling a little bit on there, but... I mean, this is basically the end of the map, really. There's not much content on the map, go.
There's a lost trail.
Lost trail Satori holding up soon, and wow.
It claims
that's
2
an
lives
impressive
at the end.
call by Satori.
Yeah, I was avoiding saying it until the end, but 5.5 minutes map and Satori manages to pull out a full combo. That is crazy. 99.48, the MVP of that map. And that is going to decide it. China take the match 6-0, managing to pull off the sweep against Indonesia. And that means that, unfortunately for Indonesia, they are eliminated at this stage of the tournament.
And China will be securing that top 8 as well. They still have one more match for China to making sure that they're at the final round, the final stage of the tournament, which hopefully is going to be finding out soon. Although, commiserations to Indonesia for making it this far into the tournament as well. Not many people can see how they would match up against China, but actually they kind of came up fairly close on one of the picks.
Yeah, some of those picks were definitely close, but of course China are not through to the final stage just yet. They have to win one more match this weekend to be able to secure themselves top 6, and that is going to be against, I believe, the winner of Brazil versus Thailand, which is going to be another one of our matches coming up later. So more exciting matches, plenty of exciting matches coming later this weekend. But for now, I believe we have one coming up very soon. In 15 minutes is going to be the next match. So stick around for this one. Japan versus France, another losers bracket match.
Yeah, this one also fairly interesting history about those, because those are the winners of the tiebreakers of basically the last round of matches. Japan winning on the round of 16 against Indonesia, and France winning on the quarterfinals tiebreaker against Chile, I think.
We have had quite a few insane tiebreaker matches so far, but yeah, two teams that have won tiebreakers this match, and it could be a very close match once again. So make sure you come back 14 minutes from now. So stick around and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll be right back, guys.